Hello everybody, it is Micah. Welcome back. So as promised, I'm going to do a very quick recap of Yoshida's live letter from the producer at Fan Festival 2018 in Las Vegas. And there was a whole lot to cover, so let's just jump right on into it. Basically, this whole live letter covered patch 4.5, which will be split into two parts, just like 2.5 and 3.5. The first part will be coming out in early January, and the second part will be coming out in late March. A lot of the information they covered, they didn't go into too much detail about, because they're going to be doing another live letter in December, and they wanted to save a bunch of stuff for then. So they started off the live letter by talking about what's going to be included, and that includes main scenario quests. And they also said there's going to be two side story quests also added. That's going to be the end of the Four Lords quest and the end of the Hildebrand quest. And they pretty much told us there will be a Yojimbo fight at the end of the Hildebrand quest, as it was a fight that was profiled at the Fan Fest. Which, I mean, that's going to be a very welcome thing to a lot of people, because not having any trials included in the Heavensward version of Hildebrand felt kind of off, and it was really, really heavily requested. So they're bringing back those Hildy fights. Blue Mage, of course, is going to be added along with the Masked Carnival, not the Blue Carnival like I said yesterday. More on that, a whole lot more on that coming up later. There will be a new dungeon added as part of the main scenario questline called the Gim Light Dark, as well as the final chapter of Return to Ivalice, and that will be called the Arbonne Monastery. And Yoshida previewed a little bit of gear. Anyone recognize it? Yep, that is Balthier. And Yoshida said that Balthier was originally supposed to be in the actual storyline, but didn't make the cut. However, he said we will see a very familiar face show up in this final chapter, and my guess is that it will be Fran, since that's the perfect opportunity to introduce the Vieira into Eorzea. If you were able to get all the dog bounds from the Extreme Primals and Stormblood, he did reveal the final reward you are going to get for your efforts, which is this big old dog here. But to do so, you're going to have to first defeat the last of the Four Lords and get their dog. And even though he didn't have any video footage or really any artwork of that, we did get to see an artistic mock-up of the arena. I guess it's going to be like up in the air, and we're just going to have falling off walls. Basically the typical Primals. Don't expect anything too new. It sounds like pretty much the same old. So look forward to it. He also revealed the final installment of Eureka called Hyder Toast, and I honestly expected a little bit of booing at this part, since Eureka has been so immensely unpopular with the player base, but everyone remained incredibly respectful. He did confirm, however, that this indeed will be the final installment of Eureka and will have a high level of difficulty, but since it will not come to the second part of 4.5, more information will be saved on that till later. He then went into PvP and mentioned new rival wings, which is called the Hidden Gorge. He didn't really go into too many details about it, but he said something about like people who did the Warrior quest line are going to recognize something. I don't know what that could be, since I have not touched Warrior since 1.0 basically. There will be new rewards and large-scale content coming to the Gold Saucer too, and he promised that they are not done with Gold Saucer, that we are going to see many updates to it in the future. But this is the first one, and it's going to be called Air Force One. And he didn't give us too many details about it, because he said that's all going to be covered in December's live letter. But basically, it sounds like you are going to be driving the little thing from Sigma Escape 3, the little like car thing, and you are going to be on a roller coaster and having to shoot things down. So another new gate. That sounds actually like it's going to be a pretty fun one, so I'm looking forward to that. He briefly mentioned that there's going to be new custom delivery clients, and then just went directly into like the whole world jumping service that they're introducing. Basically what's going to be is, like he was talking about before, you go to one of the Aetherytes in the three main cities, and you're going to be able to choose to just go to whatever server or world, as they're called in this game. And basically what you do is you're just going to have to right click the server and then choose visit another world. And then you basically choose what world you want to go to and confirm. It will take the congestion of that world into consideration, but if the server is not too full, it will then send you on your way. Your original world will be considered your home world, but you will have no time limits on whatever world you choose to visit, and you will not be returned to your home world if you log out, so you can stay there permanently if you'd really like. There are some restrictions, however, like you cannot summon your retainer, you cannot put items on the market board. You can, however, still view and purchase items off the market board. You cannot buy houses or apartments outside of your home world, which got a huge cheer from the audience, but you can still visit other people's homes. Most free company features, such as actions, will also be completely inaccessible, although chat will still work completely fine. And any non-cross-world link shots you have will not function. There are also some other minor restrictions, like you cannot get married and you cannot participate in other people's wedding ceremonies. Although the participation will be added later, they just couldn't do it at launch. You cannot use the delivery Moogle, you cannot buy jumbo cactuar tickets, you cannot participate in local Lords of Vermilion or Triple Triad, and you cannot gather at unspoiled or legendary nodes. When it comes to the new data centers, they also gave us some information, like the North American server is going to be called Crystal, and the European Union is going to be called Crystal Light. So Crystal Light, unless you're like 15 years old, you probably will think that's funny. I don't know. I personally kind of giggled at it. The distribution of the North American data centers is on the screen now, and in a surprising move, Belmont is going to the new data center. I honestly thought they would stay put just because they are so big, and it just seems like it would be a lot of work to move them. Mateus is also going, so it seems like they are going to put the RP servers together. Not sure if any of these other worlds are RP heavy, but these two I know are. As far as the European servers go, they said they try to group together the worlds that have a shared language. So they try to put all the German worlds on one data center, all the French worlds on data center, and so on. And they will also be adding one new yet unnamed world to each data center. The redistribution is going to take place over 2 weeks, and if you want to move within that time, you're able to do so free of charge. And then as a little added bonus, they are going to remove the guild cap, so you are able to take maximum amount of guild between servers, and I think that's 999,999,999, but I couldn't tell you for sure because I don't even have close to that amount on any of my characters. And then if you are a homeowner and you are, not sure about the house and you don't want to lose any money, you are not going to, because they are going to reimburse you 100% of the gil you spent on that house. And they are also going to give you an extra 3 million gil for just to make up for any lost furnishings. And if you own an apartment, you are going to get the full 500,000 you spent on that apartment back, plus an additional 500,000 to cover, again, lost furnishings. The second half of the live letter was pretty much all about Blue Mage, and they answered a lot of questions and gave us a whole lot more information, such as it will begin at level 1 and it will cap at level 50. It also will have job quests and use caster gear. There are a few unlock requirements for it, like you have to have one job already at level 50, and you have to have completed the 2.0 quest line. And that does not mean all of a Realm Reborn. That just means 2.0. So once you hit that 2.1 series of quests, you are good to go and you can unlock Blue Mage. The whole job is mostly built around solo play, so you're really not going to be able to use it in a whole lot of parties. In fact, you can't even use it in any roulettes or anything like that. It's really just made for a solo job, which is kind of a bummer. I was really looking forward to maining it, but at the same time, I can completely understand why they did it, because it really would be balance breaking. I talked with a few people in my last video and comments about it, and I understand. Yeah, it's going to be balance breaking. It's just kind of a bummer for me. This is a system, though, they hope to use in other jobs in the future, and they actually mentioned Puppet Master in particular, so maybe we'll see Puppet Master in a future expansion, or maybe even in another mid thing, whatever. Who knows? But I really liked Puppet Master in 11, just like I liked Blue Mage. So I'll give it a shot. We'll see how it works. As a job that's basically designed around being solo, Blue Mage will also not be able to access any content that requires matchmaking. So no roulettes, no PvP, no dungeons, none of that stuff. This will also make progression completely different. It's not going to be like any other job. You will actually be required to kill mobs in the open world, although with much increased experience. You can also make parties of your own to run dungeons, just no using roulettes. Learning Blue Magic also just requires you to see the ability in action. No need to actually be hit by it, but then you do need to defeat the mob after. They did say the learn rate is going to be kind of low, so you may have to kill quite a few mobs to learn a spell, or maybe just one. More RNG! Yay! And of course, in true Square Enix fashion, they are not going to tell you what spells are available or what mobs have those spells. But they will give you a hint in your Blue Mage book when you hover over it as to what area the spell could be learned in. Just no information on the particular mob it's learned from or anything like that. So look forward to that being posted on a wiki. And they also made it sound like the higher the level of the mob, the easier it will be to learn the actions, but they wouldn't confirm it. It did, however, sound like from some of the primals, you will have to enter extreme mode to actually learn that spell. Frankly, I don't really find this decision to be too good of one, because how many people playing now have actually done these level 50 extreme primals synced at level 50? And even for those of us who have these on farm in the level 50 days, I mean, I don't think I could step into Titan Extreme and just do it as well as I could, what, 5 years ago? So I'm sure what's going to happen is there's going to be Blue Mage link shells. So if you're very interested in learning Blue Mage, I highly suggest you find one of these link shells, or if there's not one on your server, just make one. At level 50, you're going to be able to challenge the Masked Carnival, which will be located in Uda. Each challenge is called a stage, and each stage is going to have 3 rounds. There's going to be 25 stage types, and if you defeat all the mobs, you can complete that stage. It has what sounds like it's going to be a proc system where you need to find and exploit that stage's weakness, like a weakness to fire. So if you go in and you don't have those Blue Mage spells, you just kind of have to back out, go find them, and then go back and challenge that stage again. The types of mobs and their weaknesses are going to vary by stage, but it sounds like you can pick and choose your stage. But it still sounds like the Elemental Wheel is going to be making a comeback in this combat. And if you don't know what the Elemental Wheel is, that was something from previous Final Fantasy games where like fire would be weak to ice and vice versa. Finally, they ended the live letter with a few announcements, such as the Paris Fan Festival is going to be February 2nd and 3rd, and the Tokyo is going to be March 23rd and 24th. They also wanted to point out that the SDS fan rear bike mount is up on Mog Station for $29.99 and is account-wide, and the Tifa minion is also available on the Mog Station. The Encyclopedia Eorzea Part 2 is going to be on the Square Enix store November 24th for $49.99, and it comes with a Matoya hat in-game item. And they said that there's already a second printing on order, so everybody who wants to get one can get one. I actually have the first one behind me. It was actually full of a lot of really good information. I really liked looking through it and seeing everything it had. Although it did make me kind of wish they would have added some of the stuff they put in the book into the game, because there's so much information that you just can't get anywhere else. And a lot of it's really interesting, so definitely check that out. There's also a Blu-ray of the Primos tour for $54.99. I'm sorry, but $54.99 for, yeah, no, they did say it was going to be all translated in English, and Koji Fox said that he actually went through and made sure all the English is good. So if you want that, more power to you, but $54.99 for a Blu-ray, no. But that is all for the live letter. I try to get through it as fast as I can without leaving out any information, so I really hope you found what you were looking for. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe, as I do release new videos at least once a week, and you can just click on my little face down one of those places. It's down there somewhere. Just click there and subscribe and see what I have coming out, because I got a bunch of new stuff coming out. But as always, it's been a hoot, and until next time, have fun.